So I promised, that I'd go into more detail about the night that I figured out that I stopped remembering things. And, for those of you who didn't watch my intro video, basically, I lost my memory and I am still in the very early stages of trying to figure out why. I consulted with my doctor and my therapist, and basically, we're all still very unsure. So, I'm going to explain a little bit about what happened when I kind of came out of, I'm going to call it a fog, but if you guys have better names for it, you go right ahead and drop them down below. So basically, what happened was I started meds, which I believe I touched on briefly. I think I touched on that briefly in my intro video. That I had started meds. Sorry, camera issue. That I had started meds, basically. I was going through a really rough time. And again, all of this information is kind of compiled from different people, not my own memory. So, kind of take it with a grain of salt. I know what happened, but I don't remember it happening. And that's kind of a concept that's been really difficult for me. I remember certain things happening, but I don't, I know that certain things happened, but I don't remember them. It's a very weird duality. So try to stay with me. I was on meds for about 3 weeks. I was on Lexapro for about 3 weeks and Xanax for 2. You're gonna notice me spacing out a lot when I try to remember this, so I apologize. I do want to be as upfront about that as possible, though. I'm not gonna edit it out. You're gonna see me space out and forget what I'm talking about probably a few times. It's just part of the process for me, so I apologize. Don't watch it if you don't like it. Basically, last Monday, I went to the doctor's to get my shot, like I always do. Every month, I go to get a shot for menopause. It keeps me in menopause because I have other health issues that are kind of urgent, and I was also a mystery with that. So I went Monday morning and I got that shot, and I always feel like absolute crap after that shot. Like, when you feel like you're getting the flu, that's what I feel like. And so I remember I came home. Sorry, not that I remember, but I know I came home and napped. And called out of work. Don't remember calling out. Don't remember why I called out. And that was kind of the antagonist for all of this, is that, so I woke up from my nap, probably ate dinner or something. I don't really remember, but I went back to sleep because I called out. And when I sleep at night, I take edibles because that's the only way I can sleep. It has been for about a year now. And so I took the edible, and my mama cat, she started biting me really hard, and she doesn't bite me usually. And that kind of pulled me out of the fog, if you will, enough to realize that I had called out of work and I didn't know why. I called out of work and I didn't know why. And then I remembered that I had put my homework off the week before and I hadn't done any of it. And that's totally unlike me. Like, I'm working on my second master's. I'm not going to risk a bad grade just because I don't feel like doing homework. That's not something that I've ever done. So that was another thing that really got to me. And then I started remembering, like, that I had no idea where I was for those few weeks. And keep in mind, too, at this point, I thought it was just the meds. I thought if I stopped the Xanax specifically that I'd be fine. So I ended up flushing all of them. Like that second. I flushed all of them. I thought that I lost my memory because of the Xanax. I don't recommend doing that. Please don't ever flush your meds. You're supposed to wean off or get, like, your doctor's permission. Benzos can be really dangerous to wean off of. So I flushed them and thankfully didn't have any weird reaction from it because I've only been taking them for 2 weeks and I was only taking 1 a day instead of the prescribed 2 a day. So, really, I hadn't been taking it long enough to have any adverse reaction. I didn't know that though. So not smart on my part, and please don't ever do that. It's very dangerous, but flushed them, and then my fiance called me back because I'd called him like 5 times, and I don't make phone calls. I hate phone calls with a burning passion. And I'd called him, and it was like 1 or 2 in the morning. I'd called him a bunch of times, and thankfully he woke up and called me back, and he filled me in on everything that, like, he started really small on his way here, and then he got here, and he calmed me down because I was, like, in the middle of a panic attack. Like, it was really bad. I couldn't remember anything, and it's really scary when you realize that, like, you've been functioning, but you can't remember it. So I was, like, terrified. I was, like, shaking, crying. I was, like, could not move, Sorry, my cat's being a little weirdo. But anyway, so he came over. He doesn't live with me. That's another story for another time. But so he came over. And basically that whole week was kind of like touch and go with me. It was like some days I would wake up and be like, oh, I kind of remember what happened yesterday. And some days I'd wake up and have absolutely no idea. And so I ended up seeing my doctor a few days ago. Let's see, on my birthday. On March 1st, I went and saw my doctor. And basically, he was very concerned, as I think everyone is, including myself. And from what I was told, he thought it was the Lexapro that was causing it. So he had me immediately stop all meds. And it's now been a few days. I don't know how many since then. I don't know what the date is, so I think it's the 4th, so I think it's been 3 days. Don't quote me on that because it could be the 5th. No idea. So he had me stop all meds. It's been a few days. I went back and my memory isn't improving. What I can say is that I'm not foggy during the day anymore. I'm very present. I'm very here. I'm focusing more on everything around me and the people around me because I don't know if I'm going to remember anything tomorrow. Like, I don't know if I'm going to wake up and forget that any of this happened. So it has led me to be way more present, which is an interesting side effect. My dog is chasing my cat. Sorry. So anyway, it's led me to be way more present, but my memory isn't there. So yeah, this is basically just like my journey to find it, or figure out life without it, or figure out why it started, or all of the above. So that is all about the night that I remembered I was not remembering. And it's been very scary ever since. I will keep making, more videos about like the little things I've done to help and just like how I'm dealing with it. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that info. Again, if you have any similar experiences, drop it below. I can learn so much from you guys. If you've ever had a bad trip and it led to amnesia, if you've ever, had the same experience with Xanax and Lexapro or any other, medication, please tell me. Because another thing that might be happening is, extreme dissociation, and I really hope that that's not it, but there's no way for me to know because I don't remember. It's all very ironic. But yeah, so I will see you guys next time, and I'll just keep explaining what's going on, and hopefully it gets better from here. Thanks.